Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited about today's video as I am getting ready for my first red carpet premiere. Before we jump into it, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Alrighty, let's get ready. I'm starting off with my hair so I can give my curls time to set in place so they will last all night. My hair is freshly washed. I am using my favorite thermal spray, which is Trilliant by Sebastian. I am spraying this on each section of my hair before I apply heat. I'm using my T3 curling iron that they did gift to me, so thank you so much, T3. I am clamping the iron on my hair near the root and pulling it down to the ends to really flatten and smooth the hair. And then I am curling the hair all the way up to the root, letting it hold for about 10 seconds. And the trick to having the curls last is not letting the curl fall down while it's hot. So to avoid this, I am catching the curl before it falls, wrapping it back up in the shape of the curling iron, spraying it with a strong hold hairspray, and then clipping it in by placing a duck-billed clip near my scalp to hold it there. I will leave my curls like this until I am done with my makeup so that they have time to set in their shape. Now onto the face. I really want a nice glowy complexion tonight, so I am using one of my favorite glow primers, and I like to apply this using my hands. Then I am using my favorite, the Light Reflecting Foundation by NARS. My shade is Mont Blanc, and I am buffing this in using a flat foundation brush. When I'm done with my foundation, I like to apply some concealer for my under eyes. I'm using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer in the shade Light 40N. I'm blending this out using the same brush that I was just using for my foundation. I'm applying a little more on my cheeks where I still had a little bit of redness peeking through. However, as you can see, I am not blending this out right away. I am letting it sit and thicken up while I apply my cream contour. As you'll see throughout the video, I really like to apply all of my complexion products in cream first, and then I'll follow them up with powders. The double application not only ensures that this will last all night, but that it will translate on camera, especially with bright flash. After my cream contour is all blended out, I am picking that foundation brush up again and blending out that concealer on my cheek. There's my boyfriend peeking his head out to see if I'm still filming. Don't mind him. After I place cream contour on my nose, I like to clean it up by adding more concealer on the sides and the center of my nose. While I let it sit, I am prepping my eyes using the P. Louise Rumor Base in the first shade. Prepping my eyes was enough sitting time for the nose concealer, so now I am blending that out. I am using a much smaller and kind of fluffy blending brush because I want the blend to be soft and blurred, but still precise. It's time to set this complexion now. Don't mind the lid. I am using a powder puff to set my face, and a great trick to avoid under eye creasing is to set the powder going the opposite direction of your creases. I am also dragging this powder under my cheekbones and the sides of my nose, and I will allow this to bake so it brightens up. I'm using the setting spray by Shades by Shan as well. Setting spray helps the baking process by locking that powder into place. I am using the Sunkissed Bronzer by Jaclyn Cosmetics, and a tip to make bronzer look more natural is to apply it with a fluffy brush and swipe it upwards towards the hairline, but not in it. Using the same brush for blush, I am tapping that color onto the tops of my cheekbones. Highlight time! I am using a smaller powder brush just to tap and blend that highlight onto my cheekbone. I also use the same highlighter for my nose, but I like to use a pencil brush. That way the nose highlight is more defined and more intense. Keeping it simple though, I like to soften out any harsh lines just by running my finger over the highlight. Oh, never forget the Cupid's bow, like I forgot about the underlip contour. Whoops. I like putting contour here because it makes the bottom lip appear fuller as well as emphasizes my little chin. Now it's finally time to brush all of that bake away. I am using a fluffy blush brush, and I'm using circular motions to remove that powder and soften any harsh lines at the same time. Brow time! I do have my brows microbladed, so I just want to fill in any sparse areas and fluff up the hairs that I do already have. This is one by Essence, and then I'm using my e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in Neutral Brown. I like to use this product to create hair-like strokes, and I like to soften up those lines by using the spoolie, which is attached to the brow pencil. Then I take my concealer on a concealer brush to really carve out and shape the brows how I like them, since I prefer a really sharp and defined arch in my brows. We're almost done. Now it's time to have fun with the eyes. I am using the Luxe Legacy palette by Jaclyn Cosmetics. When doing eyeshadow, it is easier to darken up a look than it is to lighten a look that is already too dark. That's why I prefer to start lightest to darkest and top to bottom. So I'm using a white shade and applying it to my brow bone to really attract light to it and make it appear lifted. Then I am applying a slightly darker but still really light nude shade right underneath that. This will help smoothly blend the brow bone to the crease color. This is what we call a transition shade. Using the same brush, I am taking a slightly darker shade now and placing this in my crease to set that transition. Now I am placing a slightly darker shade to the outer corner of my eyes. I like to go for more of a cat eye shape. I'm jumping to the second darkest shade in this palette. I am using a flat brush and I am stamping this under my lower lash line to create a soft liner. Now I'm taking a smaller, more pencil-like brush and that second to darkest shade, and I'm smoking out that outer V again. I decided I wanted to go a bit more dramatic, but still soft glam for tonight's look, so that's what we are doing here. As you can see, I'm really taking my time to build up that color and blend things out nicely. Taking time to apply and blend will make this look like it was done by a professional, because it was. Now that I have the drama that I want, it's time to add the glam. I am using a white shimmer shade. It wasn't as bright as I wanted it, so I picked up some of that shadow on my finger and I applied it right to my lid. This really helps to melt all that shadow together and it makes it appear more metallic. Picking up that liner brush that I was just using, I am using the darkest shade in the palette and applying liner to the 2/3 of the top lid to match the lower lash line. When using a mascara that has a curved wand, start with the wand in a happy face position where the curve is facing downwards and the ends are pointing upwards. This will really emphasize and add length to the lashes as well as curl them. Then once you are satisfied with that, flip the wand to a sad face position where the curve is upwards and the ends are pointing downwards. This will add drama to the lashes and make them appear more full by clumping them slightly at the base of the lashes. Another lash trick when wearing falsies is to always apply a dark liner to the upper waterline. This is called tight lining. However, on the lower lash line, applying dark liner makes the eyes appear smaller, and this is not what I want. So I actually use a nude color. This helps make the eyes appear more bright and awake. Finishing touches here, I am using the same Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter to the inner corner and then lashes. I am wearing Makeup Burners Evidence Marker lashes in the style M15. I recently got these lashes in a mystery box that I bought, and it's a great video if you want to check it out. I'll link it above. Then I take my lash curler and I gently press the falsies to my lashes to make sure there are no gaps. Gently curling falsies can also make them look more curled and longer. The final beauty secret that I'll share with you today is I love using my brow pencil as my lip liner. Meanwhile, here's a perfect example of how my tiny house panther walks like a goldfish. I'm not the only one who sees it, right? I like to take the most time to line my lips because I have really uneven natural lips, so this takes me a little bit of time to even them out and shape them how I like. I recently bought this black lipstick by Maybelline, and since our movie is a dark comedy with horror aspects in which I gotta create my own demon characters for, I felt it was appropriate to go with like a gothic glam princess vibe for this look, so black lipstick it is. To see more behind the scenes and photos of these characters, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok also. Here is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!